Oh man. It is a hard life. So what's going on, guys? I know I've been posting a lot about getting everything polished, but I want to talk about some serious stuff really quick. What's up? What's up? I want to talk about some serious stuff. So earlier on Zello, on the These Trucking YouTubers channel, we were having a discussion about what can we do to make the industry better. What can we do to put more money in our pockets? What can we do to ease regulations? And a lot of ideas were thrown around. It was a really great conversation. And a lot of people voiced their opinions about different things. And one of the things that got brought up, something that I think is plaguing the industry, it's making things a lot harder for all of us to make money, are brokerages. I think brokerages are a huge problem for a few reasons. I think there's a few reasons why brokerages are a big problem in the industry. Now, we're all against, for the most part, a lot of us are against regulation, or against too much regulation, as I should say. But what stops these brokerages from taking as much money as they want? What stops them from taking the lion's share of the freight? Nothing. Nothing stops them. So, I mean, they can take whatever they want off of it, and it doesn't leave anything left for anyone else, really. There's no law, no regulation, no code of conduct, nothing that keeps them from taking whatever they want off the load. Listen, they can take whatever they want off the load. They can schedule shit however they want. They can call you as many times as they want. They can do whatever they want. And no one stands up to them. And the thing is they're not needed. What the hell do we need a brokerage for? What do you need it for? You don't need it. Why would you need it? Why can't you or me or whoever talk to whoever's shipping the stuff in the first place on our own? Right? What stops that company from dealing directly with the driver? And there's nothing. Nothing that stops them. Left Lane just said brokerages are completely unregulated on the percentage of the load side. They chop it up and give the drivers the scraps. And that's right. You're exactly right. And, you know, big companies like Knight, like Prime, you know, Swift, any of those big companies that broker freight, or have lease operators or owner operators at their company, they have the contract with the shipper. Their brokerage breaks it apart. And then when they send it to the driver, they break even more off of it. So why in the heck are we allowing this to happen? That's what I want to know. What can we do to get away from this and make it stop? And I think it's time that people really need to stand up and say enough is enough. Now, another topic that came up on Zello, on These Trucking YouTubers on there, was about OOIDA. Up until today, I was not a member of OOIDA, but I went to their website and I signed up. I signed up myself and my wife to be members of OIDA. So in the coming weeks and days and months, I'm going to explore what OIDA has to offer, discounts and everything, and I'm going to take advantage of those and share those things with you as I learn about them. But I want everybody to know that OIDA is open to owner-operators, lease operators, company drivers. And I think that all of you should at least go to their website and check out what they have to offer. I think that it's time for us all to get together and say we've had enough. And I know some of you are thinking, oh, we should shut down the industry. Listen, we should park the trucks or whatever. And I'm all for that as a last resort, as a final option. Now, I brought up this morning that I think that OIDA is kind of behind the times. You know, they've got Landline Magazine and other different things, which no one reads. No one reads print media anymore. People just don't. Most newspapers no longer print newspapers. It's all online. Most magazines are online, and the copies that they do print are in limited numbers just because no one buys them, because everything's so accessible. So I think we as YouTubers, as content creators, need to do our part to help spread a message. I think we kind of owe it to the industry. We owe it to you guys. And you're going to hear a little more about it from myself, Ike, Jay Cannell, and anyone else that wants to get involved. But I did sign up for OIDA today, and I think all of you guys should do the same thing. At least go check it out. But we've got to stop this. And the first thing I'm going to start exposing is brokerages. Brokerages that treat the driver like crap. Brokerages that take large percentages off the road. Now listen, if we can't get rid of them, we should at least limit what they can have. That's for sure. And I think the best way to really start doing that, to really hit them, is hit them in their wallet. And a way to do that is stop running cheap freight. Now you're going to hear things from different guys that say, oh, I'll run cheap freight. I'll run cheap freight. I'll do this. I'll do that. But hey, cheap freight hurts everybody. Why is it cheap freight? It's not cheap freight because shippers aren't paying what we're asking. It's not cheap freight because we're trying to lower prices to the consumer. It's cheap freight because the brokerages are taking too much. So there's nothing left for the driver. So if you stop running cheap freight, the brokerage is going to have to give you more. You understand how that works? Also, stop taking their shit. Stop letting them talk to you how they want you to, or how they want to. Stop letting them say, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do... No, I don't need to do shit. That's right. Left Lane says, leave the loads, the cheap loads, sitting on the damn dock. Well, leave them there. Leave them there. Because the next day, when that load doesn't ship, they're going to have to raise that price to get it out the door. So stop running cheap freight. Let's hit these brokerages where it hurts, and that's in their wallets. That's where it hurts them, is in their wallets. Big companies can't move all the freight, Brandon. They just can't. The big companies are big, but they don't control a majority of the freight. They just don't. Think about it. There's 3.5 million trucks on the road. The big companies have what? Maybe 200,000 trucks when you combine all the big companies, and that's being generous. It's the small companies, the owner-operators, the independent guys that move the majority of the freight. So we, as owner-operators, lease operators, we can put a big hurt on them. So I'm asking all of you to stop running cheap freight. Stop allowing brokerages to talk to you how they want. And I'll give you an example. I did a load that brought me here to Lubbock for C.H. Robinson. I've never really had a bad experience with C.H. Robinson until I did this load. And it's going to sound really cocky when I tell you this, how this unfolded. What happened was the load was supposed to pick up in Dallas at 4 p.m. and the first delivery was at midnight in Temple, so about 2 hours away. I told them earlier that morning when we called about the load that I wouldn't be there by 4 o'clock because I knew I wasn't going to get unloaded in time to get a trailer washout and then get back up there. They said that was fine. They said it was fine. And so I didn't show up to pick up the load until, oh man, I want to say it was like 6:30, 7 o'clock. They then, once I got loaded, it took them, what was it, maybe about 2 hours to load me. And then it's about a 2.5 hour ride down to Temple, counting in traffic and all that kind of stuff. And I had to stop for fuel on the way. When I made the delivery on time. I got there just before midnight. I was actually on Zello talking to everybody. And I got unloaded, got out of there about 1:30. Not bad. They only had to take off 5 pallets, sort it, count it, pay the lumper, all that kind of stuff. And we'll get to lumpers too, by the way. The next appointment was supposed to be, they had it scheduled for 4 in the morning, which is impossible because it's like 370 miles away here in Lubbock. So obviously if I get unloaded and I'm done at 1:30, no way am I going to be able to do 370 miles by 4 in the morning. So I shut down, started my break, woke up my break, started rolling, and get a phone call. Now prior to this, they had been notified that we wouldn't be there till after 4 a.m. They said, hey, that's fine. We'll pay you $50 to drag the 3 pallets off the trailer. 50 bucks to remove 3 pallets. I'm cool with that. Take them off, sit them on the dock, get everything signed, and get out of there. Well, they started calling me not long after I started rolling. I said, where are you? Told them where I was, how many miles out I was. What were your in and out times for the first stop? Told them my in and out times. And they said, well, what's your ETA over here? I told them my ETA. And they said, well, what time did you start your break? Wait a minute, hold up. When and where I take my breaks is none of your business. How I manage my logbook, manage my hours, it's none of your business. So we got into a big argument, and I told the gal that called to check on the load, I said, hey, I am not telling you how I operate. Just not happening. Not happening. So I told the girl, I said, hey, I gave you my in and out times. That's it. She said, so you're not going to tell me? Nope. 2 minutes later, my phone rings. And I guess it's an account manager or something from C.H. Robinson. and answer phone. Hello? Yeah, how come you didn't want to talk to one of my employees? Excuse me? What do you mean I didn't want to talk to one of your employees? I did talk to her. I did give her my in and out times. Well, you didn't want to tell her what your breaks were? No, it's none of your business. And the guy said, well, when we tell you to do this, you're going to do it. No, no. I said, do you know who the fuck I am? Do you know who the fuck you're talking to? I'm a human being. You don't get to treat me like shit. I don't work for you. You don't get to tell me when and where I'm going to take breaks, how long my breaks are going to be. You don't make laws. The guy said, well, if this keeps up, we're going to issue fines. I said, fine. Issue some fucking fines. I said, issue some fucking, send me some fines. Penalize me. Please do. Please do, and see what happens. That shit needs to stop. And he hung up on me after that, by the way. Straight hung up. Click. Doesn't work like that. I'm sorry. And that's right, Cheese. Just another sad story of these shitty brokers. They suck so bad. Sounds like they're getting worse. Why do they harass the drivers? That's right. You don't know who I am. Enough said. And I'm not saying that because I'm somebody special. I'm saying that because I have a voice. I matter. Just like each one of you. You have a voice. You all matter. Nobody should be allowed to talk to you like that. Nobody should be able to have that tone of voice with you. You just don't do that. It's called a back charge, and it does work like that. It says, driver, my ass. Yeah, well, Earth hates you for having a stupid name. But brokers need to go. None of us should be talked to like that. Whether you work for a company or not, you shouldn't be talked to like that. You shouldn't be allowing yourself to be talked down to. You just shouldn't. And the funny thing is when I got to where I delivered the load, they didn't like C.H. Robinson either. They said they were a bunch of jackasses. That's the kicker. But go check out OIDA, guys. See what they're about. Yeah, they lost the ELD thing. But I'm going to tell you, that myself, Ike, and a few of the other guys, Jake and L, we're going to start reaching out to OIDA. We're going to start telling them directly what you guys are saying. And we're going to tell them that they have our support on social media if they start to listen to everyone. 3.5 million trucks on the road. OIDA has like 100 and some thousand members. It's not enough. It's not enough. It doesn't give them enough power to change the laws. It doesn't give them a big enough voice. OIDA's been around for like 40 years. It's time we really start getting these organizations to work for us. Unlike the ATA, who works for the big companies. The American Trucking Association? What the fuck? I'm an American trucker. I ain't a member of that shit. Not when you have the big companies in your pocket. I agree, angry gun owner. That's OIDA needs to join the NRA, and then they'll listen. Yeah. Yeah, the ATA is a joke. But, guys, I'm going to tell you, we got to do something. Enough is enough. We got to stop taking the shit. That's it. We got to stop accepting scraps. We can't do it anymore. People won't be able to provide for their families if we allow this to happen. Drivers will keep getting hurt. I agree, Left Lane. He says, for what it's worth, we tried talking to OIDA. OIDA failed on the ELD. It's time to take action for ourselves, and I agree with you. Now, whether we use OIDA as our avenue, whether we form our own organization or whatever it is, we need to do something. We can't do it anymore, guys. We just can't. So all of the shit that everybody bitches about, all the hate and discontent that some of you trolls have for me, that you guys have for others, all of that stuff has to stop. It just has to. But we got to do something. Listen, I want to continue this discussion, so I'm going to take it over to Zello, to these trucking YouTubers. There's 140 something people in here, and I want all of you to come tell us what you want. What's most important to you? Come tell us what you're passionate about. Is it pay? Is it hours of service? Is it the ELD? Is it speed limiters? Is it the DOT, the FMCSA? Whatever it is, I want to hear about it. John Marshall, I'll get you unblocked. So we want to hear, myself, Ike, Jake, and L, the guys that are going to start putting this information out, that are going to start talking to OIDA directly, and all of these other little organizations. We want to know what you have to say, because we want everybody on the same damn page. So head over to Zello, these trucking YouTubers. These trucking YouTubers is the name of the Zello group. Download Zello. It's an app on your phone. Okay? It's an app on your phone. It's like a walkie-talkie, like a CB radio. Myself, Ike, Chris Swan, Left Lane, we're admins over there. We'll make sure that people are able to talk and that people aren't cutting each other off. So please come over there, all right? Come on over there. We want to hear what you have to say. But go check out OIDA. Join the conversation on these trucking YouTubers on Zello. Let us know what you're thinking. Don't just come and post a comment. Let us hear your voice so we know what you really mean. We all know how things get lost in text and in comments. If you're watching this video on the recorded side, if you've made it the 24 minutes in, leave a comment, alright? Let us know. Because we want to start focusing on these issues. We want to narrow them down to a handful so that we can all target different things. I'm talking about brokerages. Because brokerages and lumpers are some shit we don't need. And it's just a middleman that doesn't need to be there. And when middlemen get involved, it cuts the profit for the people doing the work. So head over to Zello right now, and we will talk about everything. Guys, check out the links in the description. There's all kinds of good stuff in there. Make sure you hit like, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and do me a favor. A huge, huge favor. Come find me on Facebook. That's right. Links below. Treat each other with respect. Shiny side up, guys. Talk to you on Zello right now.